Do you feel it's kind of a fading art? I mean, except for what a lady might do for her boyfriend, but strip teasing in general, is that kind of a decaying?
Well, I do two different things. I perform as a professional striptease artist around North America, as well as I also teach women the basics of striptease so that they can use it for the privacy of their bedrooms to further their relationships. And of course I have the tape out as well, which goes over the same basics as the class. But striptease as an art itself, actually myself and a handful of others have redefined striptease to make it a lot more modern by performing to rock and roll. So I don't think it's dying. It's actually back on the upswing ever since the movie Flashdance.
And stripper.
And stripper, of course.
And you.
And me.
So are there enough clubs, though, to support this art?
Well, I wish there were more. As the past 6 years, I've really worked more in Canada than anywhere. Finally, I've made a connection in New Orleans, so I live there full-time now, and I'm not on the road as much as I was. Last year I was on the road 40 weeks. So.
A few of our friends recognize you here from being a Jersey young lady, right?
Yes, because I was born in Morristown.
Oh, a nice man, Morris, isn't he? Have you danced?
My mother knew him.
Oh, he's a nice man, yeah. That's where they used to make G. Washington instant coffee, right? I remember that sign. Yes,
actually, I began in the business as a go-go dancer, and I go-go danced to put myself through Pratt Institute. I have a degree in industrial design with honors from there, and I go-go danced all 5 boroughs of New York City as well as all over New Jersey. Of course, in New Jersey, you have to keep your clothes on.
So now you consider yourself as much an entertainer as a striptease artist, possibly, or do you...
A performance artist, really.
Performance artist.
Yeah.
And now where and how... Of course, we're going to talk about the video and tell people how to get a copy, but where and how do you teach, and who are your typical pupils?
Well, my pupils really cut across all kinds of definitions. I've got women from their early 20s well up into their 60s, of course a lot in the 30s and 40s, baby boomers, yuppies, that kind of thing. But it's everybody from minks to blue jeans, from Volkswagens to Mercedes, and it just seems that women, now that they have been sexually liberated, of course, they want to stay together with their partners longer, and role-playing makes it a lot easier to communicate.
Role-playing is the word. But does it help, let's say, Gio, to have a heavy dance background or heavy dance training in order to succeed? Let's say
Well, as a professional striptease artist, yes. And I've studied with Twyla Tharp's company. I've studied with Laura Dean when I was in college.
Right.
But as a woman who really only wants this for her own fantasy in the privacy of her bedroom, you don't really need to know how to dance. I've had physically disabled women take my class. This sort of distills all of striptease into some very basic elements. How to walk in bare feet, how to walk in high heels, how to bump, how to grind, how to shimmy, how to twirl your tassels in different directions, and then how to take your clothes off, upper body garments, lower body garments.
How to bump, how to grind.
Right, but while you're removing the garments. We do a lot with stockings and shoes and gloves.
How to put some zip in your strip.
That's it.
Privately for your man.
But these are basic elements that can be done by any body type. I get real skinny minis, and I get women who've got a little bit of poundage on them. Actually, I find that heavier women are able to express their sensuality a lot more easily than the skinny women. Skinny women tend to hold things inside.
But you, have you gotten many case histories of absolute success where somebody told you that your course helped their marriage not only to improve but to endure?
I've had women appear on TV with me on the West Coast in Seattle,
right,
where it saved their marriages. Because they were finally, if they're able to communicate your own fantasy to your partner, you're really that much closer. And also, I teach from the perspective that this is not a submissive act. This is learning how to take control of your fantasies and sort of unleash them on your partner. So he's victimized and not you. You're really learning how to express your feminine sensuality from a position of strength.
Strength.
Yeah.
You're strong.
There, I got muscles.
How tall are you?
4'12". Does it sound any bigger?
You're 5 feet?
Yeah.
And on the stage, you seem to tower, right?
I do. People tell me that all the time. They come up, I thought you were so much taller, especially after they've seen the movie.
I saw the video, and it's a fantastic job.
Thank you.
And it's not kinky. You do the...
No.
Richard Ornstein would like to know that the first quarter is just good aerobics, good exercise.
Well, because I believe that you should stretch your muscles before any physical activity, especially sex. It just makes everything a lot easier.
But so far as you sharing your secrets on how to strip, don't you maybe feel you're going to create a lot of competition in your profession? A lot of your students could go out there and compete with you now in the burlesque field, right?
You know, that's what happened to belly dancing. A lot of the students came and took the jobs of the mistresses and masters were teaching, and that they would work a lot cheaper. But I don't think this is really possible in my case. I'm willing to share information because no one can interpret music the same way that I do.
I'm chatting with Wonder Woman. I'm going to tell, she's going to tell you in a minute how to be in touch with her and how to get her tape. It says here, a stripper shares her secrets. We're going to share some more of this information.